Councilmember Padilla? Oh, sorry, Councilmember Price. Woo! Happy
you.
Tuesday, everybody.
Thank you, Council President. Out of an abundance of caution, I'm recusing myself from items 1, 12, and 18 because my wife's employer has worked with an organization on this item in the past, and I'm recusing myself from item 3 because I am a landlord. Thank you.
The council may now consider item 8, called special by Councilmember Padilla for recusal.
All right, give Councilmember Padilla a moment to recuse. Yes, beforehand would be better. Thank you, Mr. City Attorney.
I will be recusing myself because of the proximity to the home from which I grew up in.
Okay. All right, Councilmember Padilla is off the board and out of the room. Let's open the roll on item number 8. Let's close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
All right, what's next?
12 and 18, called special by Councilmember Price for recusal.
All right, give Mr. Price a moment to leave the room and take off the boards. You can tag Councilmember Padilla back in, so we keep 10 people. All right, let's open the roll on those items, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
And the final announcement is, so we take public comment or the order of the speakers at random. So I would ask that you please wait until you hear your name called by the staff before lining up. After you hear your name called, feel free to line up in any order on your left-hand side of the council chambers. Thank you. Good morning, Speaker. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Start with 23. Item 23, it is very important, is because 乌云在我们心里刻下一块阴影，我聆听沉寂已久的心情，清晰透明，就像美丽的风景，总在回忆里才看得清。被伤透的心能不能够继续爱我？我用力牵起没温度的双手，过往温柔已经被时间上锁，只剩挥散不去的难过。Item number 24 is very important. 在山腰间飘逸的红雨，随着北风凋零，我轻轻摇曳风铃，想唤醒被遗弃的爱情。雪花已铺满了地，生怕窗外枫叶积淀成冰，缓缓飘落的枫叶像思念，我点燃烛火，温暖碎末的秋天。极光掠过天边，北风掠过想你的容颜，我把爱烧成了落叶，却换不回熟悉的那张脸。Item number 25 is very important because it's I want an extra item number 25, no spicy. 缓缓飘落的枫叶像思念，为何赶会要赶在冬天来之前？爱你穿越时间，两行来自秋末的眼泪，让爱渗透了地面。我要的只是你在我身边，缓缓飘落的 的枫叶长水莲，我点燃烛火，温暖水墨的秋天。极光掠过天边，北风掠过想你的容颜，我把爱烧成
General public
了
comment
落叶。却换不回熟悉的那张脸。For general public comment is that I am aware our city is currently in a budget deficit, so I'm here to have some several suggestions for our council president. Council president, I understand that you are a very proud member of Black Lives Matter, part of Jason Reedy, and many of those people, they create their OnlyFans page. And then after they have their OnlyFans page, they earn millions of billions of dollars every single year. So, Council President Harry Styles, if you and the Council Member Hernandez, if you consider work together, create a monthly OnlyFans subscription, and you can create a Pornhub account, and I'm pretty sure that using your 24-inch tool, you can earn millions of billions of money, and you can use that millions of money of OnlyFans can solve the city budget problem. So I support our Council President OnlyFans.
Speaker, your time has expired, and before the next speaker begins, I'd just like to remind the last speaker that if you would like an interpreter, please feel free to let the clerk's office know, and we will do our best to set that up.
Welcome back, motherfuckers. I'm here to introduce housing and community development programs so you dumb motherfuckers can continue to do the business of the people for the people on behalf of your dumbass mayor, your pro-dumbass Negro Sambo, Uncle Tom, regarding the approval that the mayor subjected us with Bloomfield and Miss Park Beach for the Department of 2025 recovery. What fucking recovery? You let those fucking kids destroy our community this weekend. What fucking community interest of a grant do we have there, you jackass, Jonathan? For the record, look at this other issue with Bloomfield and Padilla. Goddamn behavioral health? Well, some people call me fucking crazy, but Smoking Scan, and I'll say it again, Smoking Scan for the record, calls it intelligence. Because my genius ass talks about the facts of what's happening in this fucked up city by the fucked up DA and this fucked up council that has put us in a deficit. So if you don't understand that, jackass, get him back of the mule and have it kick you in the ass off, because you're too fucking stupid to understand that I'm an American. So instruct GSD with the asshole assistance of the city attorney Dick to negotiate a purchase sale agreement for fucking Council District 3. Why? You don't know how to budget. You do not know how to save a fucking dime to budget. Where is the money going? Where? Hey, jackass, Jonathan, I'm on item 29, fool. Are you following along? Good. Because now I'm going to the next item in my 40 seconds. Item 22, homelessness. Judge O'Carter, Trump, Doge, demand answers from Los Angeles. Where's the fucking $24 million that you stole for homelessness? Judge Carter, David Carter, any Carter. Once again, the county of Los Angeles is in cahoots of ripping us all off, and all you jackass taxpayers, all you moron idiots, stupid, that have a job, have to provide for this issue here. So on behalf of the Lebanese Attorney General, for the record, fuck you, Los Angeles, and fuck you, LA County.
General public comment.
Brandon versus Ohio. How dare you, 395, 444, 1969, dirty niggers. How dare you vandalize our community on Saturday while the mayor was asleep? Where's the mayor? Where's There's the fucking mayor and LAPD, they canceled today. Why? Because they don't want to address the real fucking issue, smoking scan. Yeah, smoking scan. They don't address the real fucking issues. Only you and all your writers, hoorah, because we got the answers. It's called more free speech, more criticism, and more critically understood fucking words like this motherfucker here telling you in the great name of Bill Asalee, up your ass, city attorney, because we're going to investigate you for fraud, waste, and abuse. 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely. Fuck.
I'd like
And
to call
as-
up more names.
As we're waiting for the next speaker to come up, a couple announcements, and I apologize if I did not do this earlier. The items that are open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 and 2, and items 22 through 33. So again, the items that are open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 and 2, and 22 through 33. Also, normally I make this announcement ahead of time. Of course, Mr. Herman did not. No surprises today. Ladies and gentlemen and members of the public, the Brown Act does not require you to listen to the public comment of other commenters. So if you would like and you hear things that are wildly inappropriate, such as what we just heard from the previous speaker, you are more than welcome. Mr. Herman, this is your first and only warning. Do not disrupt this meeting while I am trying to give an announcement to the general public. If you do so again, you'll be subject to removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12. So, if you hear anything that is wildly offensive, you are more than welcome to step out. If you'd like, you can pop in your headphones, and as we've said before, you can also stick your fingers in your ears. We appreciate your patience. The fastest way to get through this is to just let them use their time. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
One, and then general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Wondering what it is about 4115 that was in the agenda when I came last Tuesday, and if it is true that they are saying that the two little areas of 4115 are for homelessness. I'm hoping. By the way, I have kept up with the budget because I listened to Katie Yaroslavsky on Larry Mantle. I also read Soto Martinez talking about why we're ahead. We don't have the loss that we thought we had. So I appreciate those times to inform us. I'm going on to public comment. Hello? I'm going on to public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Ron Johnson, is saying the same thing as I have been saying, that people have been killed from directed energy. By the way, the powers that be say there's no such thing as directed energy. Ron Johnson is saying it overtly. I've been a little timid about it. Ron Johnson is not a nutcase. I read 2 of his books, one of them called Guantanamo, The Men Who Stare at Goats. It was an excellent book. I'm a very left-wing Democrat. If I loved his books, something's wrong. This guy appeals to Democrats. I don't know why. I would like you, like people, to ask your council member to sponsor Ron Johnson. I'll help. And just call him and let him come up here. He's a wonderful man. And he has another book that I loved also about people that don't care. Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Just go ahead.
So starting on item number 2, we have a motion talking about bonds, and what we failed to see on this motion, I talked about it roughly 2 weeks ago, is the lack of disclosure on how it will be paid out. Now, that is a major issue because the city is well known for fraudulent money schemes through Weezer, through the program that Karen Bass has with her Inside Safe. How is it going to be paid? Is it going to be paid to the personal PayPal of Hugo Soto Martinez? Is it going to go to the Cash App of Karen Bass? Is it going to go maybe to the Venmo of Bass's family friends? We don't know. The reason we don't know that is because it's not listed on the motion like it's supposed to be. After all, this is, of course, talking about government bonds. And what are you supposed to do with government bonds? I'll give you a quick refresher. You're supposed to disclose publicly the method of payment. Again, how is that method of payment going to come forward? Is it a personal PayPal account? It might as well be at this point, because it's exactly why you have the DOJ investigating all the fraudulent schemes involving homelessness initiatives where you're laundering money through nonprofit programs, making it seem like you're executing legitimate services, but you're not. And we all know it's a scam. Few of you ever speak out about it. And in fact, even worse, many of you, including commissioners, actively support the Inside Safe program, which to this day still lacks any sort of accountability and auditing by the controller. Your own mayor is actively refuting auditing of the Inside Safe program. What the ever-loving fuck is that? How is it that your own mayor is actively trying to go against independent auditing by the fucking city's own controller? What kind of fraudulent criminal shit is that? That's basic accounting principles. Your fucking controller should be able to audit the programs the city's spending money on. What the loving fuck is that? Moving on to item number 3, we have a housing motion. Why is that important? Yet again, where the fuck is the money going for all these housing motions? Is it really going to roach motels, or is it actually helping eliminate poverty? How do we know for sure that these people are actually getting permanent housing like is being claimed, yet we know for a fact through some of the auditing that Controller Mejia has done, it's barely maybe 200 people over the last how many years that's gotten any sort of permanent housing, yet $500 million fucking dollars have been expended. That is fraud. All that money going to permanently house barely 200 people. How the fuck is that now fraud? How the fuck is it that you continue to not publicly disclose where the money is going to, how it's being paid out? For all we know, we the people, it's going to personal PayPal accounts, personal Cash App accounts, personal Venmo accounts. It's only a matter of time till the DOJ knocks on the door. And with that, we move on to general public comment. I have in my hand, and I keep saying this over and over, I am a Heidi Feldstein Soto super fan. I absolutely love and support Heidi Feldstein Soto, particularly when she gets sanctions by the fucking court for $250,000 for vexatious litigation. She issued 480 bullshit subpoenas. The court said, fuck that, you're harassing your ex-husband. $250,000 sanctions for vexatious and malicious litigation. She failed to prosecute me, failed to put me in jail. First activist to beat Heidi Feldstein Soto, no fines, no convictions, no nothing. And what does Heidi do? She continues to go after other activists. This is what Heidi does. I have the 1,200-page declaration Citibank fucking wrote, declaring that they will never do business with Heidi Feldstein Soto because of her corrupt and malicious ways. What city attorney in the history of America is permanently banned from all Citibank locations on planet fucking Earth? Not even just LA, but on planet Earth. What the fuck?
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker.
I signed up as Robert G. I will speak to all items and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, item 22 is the mayor's emergency declaration related to homelessness, the Inside Starving program, where the mayor does these massive sweeps and then takes about 3 or 4 unhoused people, puts them up in a cheap motel on the other side of the city with no blankets, food, or services. That's the Inside Starving program, and it's people are not getting housed. They're not even getting into hotel rooms or anything like that. So you should be looking into that and how this thing is going. And of course, unhoused people need housing and services, not sweeps and more criminalization. Speaking of which, we have item 26, which is a motion from our glorious budget chair, Katie Yaroslavsky, for another several 4118 zones in her district. So 4118 is harm to unhoused people. It does not get them housing. It does not get them services. It just sends them a few blocks down the street, usually with all their shelter and supplies dumped and taken away forever. And they don't get any housing or services. And if they don't just move, or if they're not following directions correctly or whatever, then they get arrested. So that's 4118. It's not housing, it's not services, nothing like that. So we have item 27, which is a public hearing related to vacancies prior to the adoption of the 2025-26 budget. So were you supposed to have this hearing before you voted on the budget at all? That's a good question. So did you do this whole process incorrectly? And you do need to have a public hearing and everything. That you're not recruiting and retaining employees, you're laying off hundreds of city employees to give more money to the LAPD. I'll get to the budget in a little while. I think that's it for general comment, but not general comment yet. So we have item 31, which is related to Represent LA program, which not sure if you may have been cutting the funding for that to some degree, although I think you did keep most of it at least. So yeah, but it's good to have lawyers, attorneys for people being targeted for deportation or really being sent to CCOD or other torture camps because Trump just doesn't like them or whatever. And Trump is trying to harm immigrants in the immigrant community. Not that any of you are paying attention. Let's go on to general public comment for
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
none of you who are paying attention. Can any of you even hear me over all your staffers who are very loudly talking in the rotunda? That's actually a really good question. There's so much noise, so much chaos. Could any of you even hear this, even if you wanted to?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm speaking to general comment. So we have the budget, which you did in the most undemocratic, way possible, preventing dozens of people from providing public input so that you could go to lunch. So you have that. And I guess what you passed is better than what was originally proposed, but it's still a terrible budget. It's still absolutely shameful that the progressives on this council thought it would be okay to vote for more LAPD funding than last year and hundreds of city employee layoffs to pay for it. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this.
Okay, number 22, you want to adopt a local emergency regarding homelessness. We don't know how much money are we talking about, and we need to have audits. Okay, I know you're against audits, but every time I see all of this money being allocated here and there, we never know if it got there. So hopefully DOJ will be coming in here and we're doing some audit here. We need to especially make sure that my people, black people on Skid Row, about 500,000, about 30, 35 blocks of homeless black people, and I expect the black people on this city council to be helping their own people instead of talking about people of color, okay? All my people are down Skid Row. When I grew up, we didn't have any homeless black people in our community. Here at Skid Row, it's just you got the drug dealers down there, and I believe some of you getting the cut from the drug dealers. It's a reason why you got my people on Skid Row. Now, the homeless count, I got a flyer, this last homeless count, and they said they were going to take the count of Skid Row in one day. I got proof. One day they were going to count Skid Row. So this homeless count, it's a scam. The numbers are not right. You cannot count Skid Row, 500,000 people in one day. And I've got the flyer, okay? So let me tell you something. The ones who are taking this money under the table and doing all kinds of things to get money, you giving blood money to your children and your grandchildren and your descendants. Believe me, you're going to leave this earth and they're going to be drug addicts, prostitutes, and everything else in prison. That's blood money. Okay, I just want to let you know that. All the money you're getting, and in DOJ and all of this, and in Washington, what they did, that's blood money. Okay, number 28 here. You want a recovery planning grant. Recovery who? Who are you recovering? If you had a recovery grant, my people wouldn't be on Skid Row. For many years, I've been coming in here 10 years or more, okay? Yes, I'm a regular. I've been here before lots of times. They haven't done anything. If anything, you got more black people coming into Skid Row. You're giving these illegal aliens the housing that my people are supposed to have. We're descendants of slaves, okay? This is our land. And as far as immigrants, all of you are immigrants except my people. So we're gonna have to do something. And I get very upset when I see, we call them Dr. King Negroes in charge, not doing anything for their own people. And you think these white folks like you, they don't like you. You're gonna go down just like the rest of them when they get through using you. I want you to do something for your people. Now, my public comment. I'm really here to talk about, in addition to the audit. Karen Bass didn't want Mejia to do the audit. That man is a certified public accountant. He has a license. He's a CPA. They call them controllers. They have different names for them. He can audit this city. That money belongs to us. Karen Bass don't own this money. You don't want an audit because you're stealing. You've been stealing. I was going to the housing units. I would go to the committee meetings, and I get the address of every area you say you're going to build housing. And I only saw housing built in one area. One area. And what area was that? Marquise. I'm not giving you any credits, but he's the only one where I saw some affordable housing being built. The rest of the areas, they weren't being built. That money is going in your pocket. So I know this scam about you going to build affordable housing. I have proof that it's nothing but a scam. Nothing but a scam. But guess what? You're going to pay for it every day. You and your relatives.
Okay. First of all, you guys are all doing a great job. I appreciate all of you. I love Los Angeles, and I think we should go back to the #1 city in the world. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Nick Bracco, and I want to speak about something simple but vital, attention to detail in Venice. From clear street signs to repainted red curbs and well-maintained parking meters. These aren't just cosmetic touches. They're the foundation we build on and walk on every day. They shape how people experience the city and how they treat it. Recently, I watched a taxpayer-funded crew repaint parking meters. They left black paint splattered all across the sidewalk, painted only 2 out of the 4 meters, and barely covered 70% of each of them, leaving them discolored and unfinished. Just complete carelessness. Respect starts at the street level. If we want to respect the city, we need to create something that's respectable. This isn't just about meters or paint. This is about the legacy of Venice, the spirit that Abbott Kinney sparked, and the dream culture, creativity, and care.
Good morning, City Council. Lionel Morris. General public comment and agenda item 27, please.
Okay, so you
First,
have 1
general
minute for the
comments.
item and 1 minute for general. I assume you're going to, please start with
Okay.
the item. Go ahead.
Beginning with general comment first. My name is Lionel Morris, a resident of Council District 6, Meta Padillas District. I am a budget advocate with the Neighborhood Council Budget Advocate and a Community Advocate, speaking as an individual. I would like to thank the Budget and Finance Committee for being creative and reducing the number of layoffs and for saving as many non-sworn civilian jobs as possible to preserve city services at a challenging time in our city budget process. I would also like to extend an invitation. Please join the Budget Advocate at City Hall for Neighborhood Council Budget Day, Saturday, June 21st, 2025. It is open to the public. Please visit budgetadvocates.org to learn more. Please advertise on your newsletter and your website, please. I still have hope that the City Council and the Mayor Office can continue to work directly with community advocates to bring about meaningful change to our city, because we depend on you. They depend on us to provide services. For agenda item 27, please, Mr. City Attorney. I urge the LA City Council to preserve city jobs, including vacancies. Many city departments, non-sworn city departments, are understaffed and are in need of more employees and resources to continue to provide city services for all Angelenos, myself included. I urge the City Council to keep vacant positions open until they are filled, particularly non-sworn civilian positions, because we are just as important as public safety personnel. Non-sworn civilian positions do provide critical services. Thank you. Please do the right thing. I yield the balance of my time.
I'm here in front of City Council to seek justice for elephants Billy and Tina, to seek justice for the public, and I'm here to seek justice for this City Council and its members, because clearly, Zoo Director Verrett has clearly disrespected all of us. I'm appalled at the actions of the Zoo Director Verrett for sneaking Billy and Tina out of the zoo and transporting them to Tulsa. When she went silent, that was worse. She went into hiding. What does that mean? Clearly, Ms. Barrett wasn't interested in an open discussion in City Council for sending Billy and Tina to a sanctuary. Tina and Billy both suffer with physical ailments, and they both need to go to a sanctuary. All zoos of integrity are sending their elephants to sanctuary, and especially older elephants. It's clear to many that viewing, oh, I need more.
So we have to move on to the next
I
speaker.
know.
I understand that the time goes by quickly. For everyone, if you would like to provide additional comments, you can do so in writing at lacouncilcomment.com. We're not trying to penalize anybody, but we do have to provide the same
understand.
amount of time for everyone
Maybe
else.
I'll come up tomorrow.
In 2.5 years, while we've put a dent into it, not enough of a dent, and continuing the state of the emergency to say that, and I apologize, I'm going to say, to say that we're not going to change anything, I realize we are going to change a lot. But to not change the state of the emergency and not change those two issues, control of our own property and whether or not we are part as a council in paying our bills, is just unreasonable at this point. It makes sense for us to end the emergency. I'm going to be a no vote because I haven't heard a compelling reason why we should continue the state of the emergency, given that we are fully capable as a council and we are fully capable as charter-created departments to continue to use our property for interim housing. And I voted yes on the amendment because it certainly is an improvement, but I'm going to vote no on the overall measure. I'm also going to ask, as I say this, I don't know where the votes come out because this is where it should happen. I'm going to say it probably makes sense for us to get these report backs by separate motion outside of the emergency order as well. And so that's something that if one of you wants to introduce today, great, or we can introduce it tomorrow. It probably makes sense to get it back because, members, 833 means that at any given time, we can end the state of the emergency. It doesn't have to be upon the presentation of an extension of the state. At any given time, we can say, hey, we're ready. We're going to be the city council again. We're going to be the governing body of the city again, and we're ready. We're ready to be a part of this government, and we're ready to, not that we haven't been, but we're ready to be a full member of the homelessness response. So again, I'm going to vote no on the extension of the emergency, although I will say the amendment is narrow, but it is a step in the right direction to get us ready for the future. Should the emergency end today, or should it end in some day after today?
You know, I appreciate Mr. McCosker being bold about having a genuine conversation about what exactly this being in place means for how we get things done and how things have been getting done. I know that for myself, every day, especially at this time, I am just, waiting to hear from my service providers about what the current status of how we're dealing with homelessness might change in the next couple of weeks. For my district, in the last, 18 months, so to speak, the cleanups have been consistent. Figuring out how to house people has been consistent. The service providers have been able to show up consistent. It's been steady. That's the way to really call it. It's been steady. But I'm predicting change. I'm predicting change as it relates to how people get paid, the future of what it means for our interim housing and how that works based on the changes we're making here at City Hall, the county stepping out of LAHSA, how LAHSA reshapes itself and how the county shapes itself. There's just so many factors right now that are up in the air. So with that being said, colleagues, I'd like 22A. I think 22A is needed. But I will also say that I think we need the 90 days to kind of keep our things steady. But I can appreciate, and I think we should all stay alert, that we have the option that if in 30 days or in 60 days, we feel more prepared to say it's time for a change, that we make that happen. But I will support another 90 days because there's just so much in the air. But I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll get more clarity related to how our own changes that we decided on during budget and changes with our other governmental partners play out. So I just felt the need to say that, is we need a little bit of more time, but I do think we are hitting a point where if we're not getting our answers from the appropriate Homeless and Housing Committee and whatnot, it's great to know that we have some leeway in the next couple of weeks. But I think 90 days will suffice.
I want to echo Councilmember Padilla's points about and honor what the 22A is about, because at the end of the day, it's about lives on the line, and if we do something so abrupt in this situation, it's our constituents who are going to be stuck. And that's kind of where we are right now with the Lossage of Worse, is that it happened so abruptly and rushed that contracts were terminated at like 3 a.m. and we needed to figure things out. And so I think these amendments get us closer to that. And, you know, we obviously made a big choice in our budget. And so as we continue to think critically about this issue, I think the thoughtfulness is important so that lives don't get lost in the shuffle of our reorganization. So I'll be voting yes to 22A and A.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Rahman to close.
Thank you so much, and I would encourage us to take this conversation seriously, and I want to again underscore my gratitude to Councilmember McCosker for bringing this up so eloquently during the budget discussion and bringing it up again today. That is why during our discussion of this issue in our committee, we added these questions to it so that we can take informed action to ensure we are not moving forward with a state of emergency that may not be required anymore in order for us to be able to respond to our homelessness crisis with the care and thoughtfulness that it deserves, as well as the urgency that it deserves, because it is still very much a crisis and requires urgency. So I will be encouraging, I will be voting yes on the amendment and yes on the broader declaration, with the goal of moving us towards getting answers and taking a more informed action on maintaining or removing the state of emergency as needed in a very timely fashion. And I would encourage my colleagues to do the same. But once again, I really want to underscore that these questions are very welcome. I think that we have to move out of a state of emergency response and move into a systemic response to this issue. And part of what having centralized action within the city, establishing it in a place, charging that place with making these kinds of policy decisions and ensuring that we can hold someone accountable if payments are delayed. Right now, we don't have a place to do that. Part of what centralizing our work is actually preparing us to be able to make this part of our course of work and improving our outcomes and holding our city departments accountable for performance management and those outcomes ultimately, as well as the broader homeless services system. So thank you again, and I would encourage you to vote yes on the amendment, but and yes on the broader declaration, with an eye towards moving away from an emergency footing in the future.
Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes, 1 no.